You've got a problem, change your fucking car.
It's lights out and away we go!
I'm Cristiana Oprea, I'm a rally driver. I actually have a weird story, let's say, in motorsport, because I actually graduated urban planning and architecture, and then I decided to switch careers, fell in love with cars, discovered racing, and I started driving a rally car, and this is how I decided I want to turn this passion into a career. So yeah, here I am. I'm right now competing in a European Rally Championship, and I am a very keen promoter of women in motorsport.
Exactly. I have a few questions on that. I'll get to it. To introduce myself, my name is Sudem. I usually have another account on TikTok. It's called Femme Fatale, where I just post fashion content in motorsport. And I just wanted to get into like interviewing and like journalism more in motorsport, and that's how I got here. And it's my first interview, so I'm very excited to have it with you. So if you like, we can just start with the questions.
Yeah, sure. I have just one question. This will. Did you start? I see you are already started recording. This will be used also in the podcast, the intro.
I don't know. I think it will cut it. Like they'll cut it out, or they'll just edit it. If you want anything cut out, you can just tell us, and then we'll.
No, I'm okay. I mean, usually in interviews like this, you tell me when we actually start.
Mhm.
So this is why I don't know if the introduction was.
If you want,
to use
we can
in the
start now.
yeah.
And then.
And the other question is, it's not a video as well, no? As far as I've seen.
No, I think it's just I'd like to, it's better.
Okay, no, because usually if it's a video interview, I wear my sponsor T-shirt. So this is why I'm asking before.
I think it's just because so I can like when I write it off the interview, when I say we do stuff, so it's easier for me to write it off.
Yeah. Okay, it's no problem.
Thank you. As well, I've written down you're a Romanian FIA ERC racing car driver, and you're also the founder of the project Femei In Motorsport. I hope I pronounced that right.
Yes, which is Romanian for women in motorsport.
Exactly. So my first question is, I mean, you've almost also answered that. How did you decide to make the switch over from architecture, which is like a way different business than motorsport? How did that come along that you were like, okay, I want to go into rallying?
Yeah, well, it was not one moment that led me to this decision. It was actually a collection of small experiences. So ever since my childhood, I associated cars with the idea of freedom and holiday and traveling, because I had the chance to travel around the country with my parents when I was younger. And this is why I really wanted to get my driver's license as soon as I was 18. So I had my first car available to drive around the country. I really enjoyed the feeling, and I wanted to learn more about controlling a car, about just being safe on the road. And somehow this is how I ended up in motorsport. After taking a defensive driving course, I actually started my journey in motorsport as a PR for the Romanian Federation. Even though I didn't have any contacts with motorsport before, so I didn't follow races when I was a child, not even Formula One.
Yes.
But I had to promote motorsport in Romania, so I had to actually understand what's going on there and what's the difference between rallying and circuit racing, karting, off-road, various types of motorsport we have available here. So this is how I actually ended up as a co-driver in a safety car at a rally, and this is how I met my mentor, who actually let me drive that car for a little bit. And yeah, I just fell in love with the idea of learning how to control a car better and better and at higher speeds. So I started practicing, taking some rally driving courses, and the rest is history.
That's very cool. I got my driver's license last year, and it was also for me. I wanted to travel around, and it was a goal for me. I had tickets for the Austrian GP, and I said, okay, I have tickets. I have to get there. I'm going to get my driver's license until there, and I got it like as fast as possible. So that's we have that in common a little bit.
Cool.
The next question is kind of connected to that. How did like the people around you were like react to the switch that you were like, okay, I'm going to like actually drive now instead of like, you know, from architect to PR drive? Like, what did your parents say? What did your friends say about it?
No, I always say that my mom is my biggest supporter, and it's also thanks to her that I was able to pursue my dream, because even when I started back in 2015, I had no idea motorsport is an actual career possibility. You know, I didn't know that being a rally driver is a career option. And thanks to her, I was able to be curious and to explore this. I started out as a hobby, but when I realized that it's something special to be a female rally driver, because I've never hidden this, there are so few women rally drivers around the world, and I really believe that we need a better representation among drivers. And I started being as an exception, let's say.
Yes.
For some years, I was the only woman rally driver in the Romanian national championship. So this was something special. I didn't realize it at the beginning, but then I started gaining some more media coverage, the first few sponsors, and I realized, okay, this could be more than just a hobby. So I was in parallel with both, with architecture and with motorsport. And in 2017, when I did my first full rally season, I also graduated from architecture. But I already had some partners and some sponsorship opportunities in motorsport. So I decided to pursue this dream, because I can always go back to architecture. But for motorsport, I think you have to fully commit to be able to build a career and grow from nothing, basically.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's a very demanding career as well. It's not just something you can do on the sidelines. At some point, it starts getting bigger. Are there any particular role models that you had? It could be in motorsport or outside of motorsport. I mean, you said your mom is your biggest fan. Are you maybe your mom's biggest fan as well, or how does that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, she was always an inspiration and a guide for me, and she's now the unofficial team manager, let's say. I always talk to her before taking big decisions. She also comes with me at some rallies to support me. Yeah, I mean, along my career, I was always inspired by any female driver or co-driver involved in motorsport. So my biggest inspiration was seeing other women drivers around Europe going to difficult events, you know, just growing their careers, seeing year by year how they managed to step up. So this was my main source of inspiration, thanks to social media. And of course, locally, I would say Simona Halep, the tennis player, was again a very, very big inspiration for me, because she managed to do something incredible for our country, which, to be honest, I don't feel that it's supporting sport, and the very least women's sport.
Yes.
So I don't think there are a lot of opportunities here, but somehow she managed to become one of the best in the world, and I can really, really admire her for this.
That's very cool. I know also like countries. I mean, I live in Germany, but I'm Turkish, and it's always kind of cool to see like your country with not a lot of famous people and not a lot of like, I don't know, sport athletes and stuff. It's just a pride that you have when you see them. I totally get that.
Exactly. I think representation is something very, very special, and
Yes, exactly.
We should be proud, and we should nurture a better representation, you know, among nations, among genders, among any kind of, you know, people and communities that just need to be there and need to see that this can be done.
That's very beautiful, Sled. And how do you? We already talked about how demanding motorsport is. Is there any particular routine you follow to balance out your career and kind of your personal life?
Yeah, this one is difficult, because my boyfriend actually also works in motorsport in the World Rally Championship. So we try to plan very carefully our free time together, because the two championships never overlap. So we have to find some free time in between. But just to balance it out, usually we like to spend a lot of time in nature, just to disconnect, to travel, especially in Romania, but also around Europe, and just to take some free time without anything.
What are some of your favorite traveling destinations?
I would say Italy and Greece, and for sure Romania. So
yeah, those beautiful countries. I love traveling as well. It just frees the mind, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there something particular rally has taught you about yourself that you didn't have before actually really committing?
I think, I mean, looking back, because this is already my 10th season in motorsport, so a lot of years have gone by. I think I'm just a whole different person. I think rallying has taught me first and foremost to be patient and disciplined. And this is quite weird because I'm still practicing patience.
Yes.
It's not very easy to master, let's say. But I realized that it's really important to fall in love with the process, and with failing, and with discovering, every different aspect and experience. Again, I think resilience is also very important,
Yes.
because in a sport so demanding, and with so many unexpected turns, you have to be resilient, and first and foremost to believe in yourself, and in your goals, in your dream, even when people around you seem skeptical or don't see the same perspective as you do. I believe that you should be your biggest supporter, especially when you are underrepresented.
Exactly. Are there some goals you have set for yourself in the future that you really want to do? That's like, I want to do this in motorsport, like anything.
Yes, yes, of course. My first big goal is to be able to compete one full season in the European Rally Championship, because I think the biggest issue is that motorsport is so expensive, and if you come from a country which doesn't have motorsport as a priority, or it's not so popular, and you come from a normal family, then it's very difficult to get your hand around the numbers and the budgets. But my big goal, like I said, is to do one full season in the ERC, and then after having the consistency I am looking for, to start fighting for some podiums. And for sure, this is not a realistic goal before having the consistency. So I just accepted this, and this is why even this season I'm skipping one of the rounds. I still don't know yet how many events I will be able to do until the end of the season, but I am just taking it step by step, rally by rally, and get the most out of every competition. Then, of course, my biggest dream is to be able to compete in the World Rally Championship, because we haven't had a female rally driver in WRC, a constant presence, I think, at least in the last 20 years. So for sure we need more. And yeah, this would be my biggest dream, to be able to compete. Okay, not one season, but more. Let's see. Yeah, I also have a bucket list, so some favorite rallies from WRC, which for sure I will do in the next few years.
Exactly. Like that's even the next question. Are there any particular races or racing events that you really want to participate in?
Yeah, so I would love to do 3 rallies are right now on my bucket list. I would love to do Rally Mexico, Rally Kenya, and Acropolis Rally in Greece. So these are the 3 gravel rallies, endurance rallies, very difficult rallies that I would love to do. Also iconic events for the WRC.
Well, that's really cool. And let's go back to you being the founder of Femei In Motorsport, which is a project which promotes Romanian women in motorsport. How did that come about? Were you approached, or did you approach someone? Like, how did that go into rolling?
Oh, this is an idea I came up with after 2018, when me and my co-driver back then were the first female rally crew from Romania to compete outside the country in the last 50 years. So we had no statistics, no information We had no idea before competing in Bulgaria that this would happen. So this info just came out after the rally. And I realized, okay, we need more information about women in Romanian motorsport. We need to know our history. We need to know who is involved. I was already starting to get a lot of criticism that I had a lot of media attention, but I was never actually a rally champion. So I never won any titles in rallying. And I said, yeah, but I'm not the only one that is actually involved in motorsport. We have so many other interesting examples as co-drivers or as drivers, but in off-road, in drift racing, in other disciplines. So I said, okay, if the federation doesn't want to do anything about this, then I know how to build a website, so I will do it by myself. So I just let everybody know that I'm doing this project. I started pitching and writing to all of the women in motorsport I knew that were involved. So I started the platform, I think, with 12 or 15 women there who agreed to share some basic info with me and to create their profiles, because it's first and foremost, the goal of the project is to be a free online database about the Romanian women in motorsport. So I only needed like basic info, name, history in racing, experience, 2 or 3 photos, and that's it. And now we are over 90 females. Unfortunately, we still don't have any support. So this project has been on hold in the last year because I cannot find any internal resources, let's say, to manage it as well. But my plan is to grow it.
I hope it grows as well. I think there's nothing better than having women in motorsport. It's just the best thing ever to have ladies there, to see them. Even I grew up watching Formula One. I grew up watching WRC, like MotoGP, and just like a glimpse of a woman was always enough for me. That's always the best thing. Is there any particular goal that Femei In Motorsport has achieved that you're really, really proud of, or a goal that you really want to achieve in the future?
Well, what can I say from my perspective as an active rally driver is that I'm very, very happy to see younger girls starting in grassroots motorsport in disciplines like rallycross or hill climb, or even more girls in karting. So for sure, since 2019, when I launched the project, now we have more and more girls starting and getting involved in motorsport, and I think this is the best results I could wish for, because I know a lot of them were inspired either by seeing me in the last few years or other girls on the platform, and I think this is just a special community built around solidarity and the idea of representation, and it's like a sisterhood.
Yes, beautiful. And that's even connecting to the next question. Are there did you notice any big changes in inclusivity, not just in females motorsports, since the beginning of your career in rallying? Is there anything you were like, oh, okay, like it's better now than when I started, or how do you feel about that?
Well, I think it gets better organically when we are more, for sure, because we can relate to other people's challenges, and we can help each other. But I feel that there is still a lack of systemic support, let's say, for females, especially in rallying. So I've seen improvements in circuit racing. We can see some great
everything.
Exactly. We can see some great examples in F1 Academy, in the Iron Danes project. But in rallying specifically, I think we still need a support system, let's say, and a strategy which can include all of the stakeholders in our sport. Because so far, I feel that we are still on our own, let's say.
Yes. Do you think maybe a system like F1 Academy would help in rallying if there maybe was like a series like that for younger girls in particular?
No, for sure in rallying I wouldn't separate the girls, because this is the whole concept of rallying. Once once you are a competitor, you want to fight the boys and to be the best out of all of the drivers, not the best girl. But I think there are other solutions and other opportunities we can create to encourage more and more females to show up.
And my last question is: are there any misconceptions about females in motorsports or just women drivers in general that you want cleared up and gone?
All of them. All of them, for sure. I mean, yeah, I've been fighting and dismantling stereotypes ever since I started. Even before I started racing, once people see you as a woman just driving her own car, in the city, they just assume that you cannot be responsive enough, or you cannot park, or whatever, that you're not a safe driver. Yeah, so I think the ones that get me the most are when people ask me, "Yeah, but you're so pretty. How come you are a rally driver?" What's the
it's like everything. That's really
what's the idea?
I think that's the worst compliment you can get.
Yeah, exactly.
It's meant to be a compliment, but it's kind of like packaged. It's very weird. But
I'm not upset anymore because I understand now that people have less access to information and to insights into our sport than we think they have. And I know for sure that a lot of people that follow my story on social media, they don't even know what a rally is and how is this different from Formula One. And most people don't even know that women are allowed to race in the same championship as men in rallying. So I feel that we have to play our part and to do better to promote the sport. This is why I was also mentioning a system we need to support us, because we cannot be forever an exception to the sport.
Yes, exactly.
And to be able to overcome these preconceptions and these ideas that people wrongly have about sport, we should do collective efforts to challenge this and to show by example.
Yes, exactly. I think it would be a dream to not be an anomaly anymore. Like, it would just be normal. Oh, yeah, it's a woman. Like, of course she drives here. I think that would be a great thing to have in the future, even for little girls to be like, yeah, of course she's a driver. I mean, who else would drive if not her?
Yeah.
That would be a very great thing.
Exactly.
That's all of my questions I had for you. I thank you very much for the interview, and I had a great first experience. Do you have any questions for me or for the interview or the magazine in any way?
No, thank you very much for this opportunity, and congratulations for this beautiful project. And I hope to discover more women in motorsport through this podcast.
Hopefully. And I wish you luck with Femei In Motorsport. I will of course be following it. And again, thank you.
Yeah, thank you too.
So have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
You've got a problem, change your fucking car.
It's lights out and away we go!